Informational video on a new course at St. Joseph's College for the spring semester, Oxford as Text. This will be an exciting course that will involve some travel. It will be a hybrid course, which means that you will be doing some work online throughout the weeks, but then we will have some face-to-face class meetings using the remote classroom so that we can include students from both the Brooklyn campus and the Long Island campus. It's 3 credits, and you can register for it as either History or Philosophy 280. Now, what's this course going to be about? Well, the title, which I find kind of tantalizing, is Oxford as Text. Think of reading Oxford as a book in itself. And that will be one of our important tasks. What exactly does Oxford mean? There's the University of Oxford, there's the town of Oxford, but it is one of those iconic locations that we associate with wisdom, knowledge, professors, learning, education for over 1,000 years. Many leaders from around the world have been educated in Oxford. It is truly a magical place. But it is also a place. And the philosophical theme that we'll thread throughout our study of history will be, how does place shape who we are and where we go in life? So think about how the place where you are right now as you're watching this video, how does that affect who you are? How does the color, the light coming in through windows, if there are windows, the furniture, images on the wall, how does that shape who you are? Think of your room at home. Think of your house or apartment. Think of your neighborhood, your town, or if you're in New York City, your borough. Think of New York. Think of how our places give us a world, and that's the world that we are familiar with and that is so important in shaping who we are. So that is a philosophical question and an opportunity to kind of be very self-reflective as we also focus on the external idea of Oxford University. And so when we go to Oxford, a place, we'll be reading locations. We're using the rich history of Oxford to explore the way in which Oxford has shaped the culture and learning in the West through historical events, religious challenges, philosophical ideas, math and science, natural sciences, and of course literature and the arts. In many ways, great thinkers, great creators, great artists, great politicians have come out of Oxford and been transformed by this place. But again, always think to yourself, how does my own spatial environment shape who I am, make me to be the person I am? So our readings during the spring term and our discussions online and in our face-to-face sessions, we will be exploring these wonderful ideas. You will come out of the course knowing a lot about Oxford, about the people, the places, the weirdness, the magic, the medieval, the Renaissance, the 19th century, the 21st century Oxford. But when we travel, we'll also be going in other places around England. We'll be visiting London at least twice. We will go to Stonehenge for a special evening visitation where you will be able to walk around the magical stones. And we'll be going around England. The entire trip will take 3 weeks, and it will be running around June 24th through July 16th. You can contact us for the precise details. So class during the spring semester, but it actually won't wrap up or end until after we've actually traveled and learned and experienced Oxford and England ourselves. To introduce you to our topic, I wanted to show you some images so you'll have a sense of the wondrousness of Oxford. And these are from our visit there in 2016, where Dr. James Blakely of the History Department and I, Dr. Wendy Turgeon of the Philosophy Department, took a group of dedicated students from freshmen through graduating seniors to explore the history and the lore of Oxford. On the right, you'll see the Radcliffe Camera. This is an iconic image. It was originally a library. It is a circular building, that's what camera means, and you can see we are gathered in front of it on one of our very first days. Here we see punts available for rent right outside of the college where we'll be staying. And some of these images really just invite you to think about locations. So on the left, you'll see images of St. Hilda's, where in fact we will be staying. St. Hilda's is a college, one of the many colleges that make up Oxford University. And on the right, you'll see the River Cherwell, which is right outside many of our windows in St. Hilda's. The streets of Oxford curve around, they go in mysterious places. You run into the university buildings, you run into the river and the beautiful park scenery. There's such a wonderful melange of both town and country. The Bodleian Library will be a definite high point of our visit. You can see the amazing fan ceiling on the left there, and the students listening with fascination to the tour guide as we went through the entire library. Christ Church is one of the most famous colleges in Oxford, and in fact I think was used as a setting in one of the Harry Potter movies if you are a Harry Potter fan. And on the right is yet another beautiful garden in one of the universities. There are animals, there are cows, there are sheep. England is a bucolic country. Even in the town, the nature is never very far away. But we also enjoyed visiting the pubs, which are an institution not just for drinking, but for socializing, for talking, for discussing, for thinking, for arguing. And you see some of our students from 2 summers ago enjoying themselves. You can climb to the top of a number of churches in Oxford and get a breathtaking view of the entire village underneath you. And then again, here is the Radcliffe camera, endlessly fascinating as the light changes. This wide dimensional view gives you a sense of the span and the spires that punctuate the sky around Oxford. We went to a number of churches, but we also visited the colleges themselves. And you have to get special permission to go in the college. You can't just walk in there. But every college had a fascinating history to it. Lore, famous people participated there. It was quite a wonderful experience. The gardens, though, are absolutely stunning. Now, maybe you're not really into plants all that much, but the colors, the shapes, the smells, the textures will absolutely enthrall you. On the left is called the Bridge of Sighs, a stone bridge that connects 2 parts of the college. And we went to a 12th century turf tavern one evening for both delicious meals and discussion. No visit to Oxford is complete without visiting the Natural History Museum. There you get a sense of the Victorians' fascination with nature and with the idea that perhaps life on this planet has evolved over time. So you can see some genuine dinosaur skulls, but you'll also see a wide range of different animals. And of course, no slideshow is complete without a koala bear, right? And a badger. Let's not forget the badger. Again, I show you the Radcliffe camera because the light changes every part of the day, and here is a better shot of the Bridge of Sighs and flowers. We also went to London, and you will recognize Big Ben on the right and Buckingham Palace on the left. The students and the faculty went to a number of museums. They had wonderful opportunities to also explore on their own. There's a very quick bus ride or express bus that takes you right outside our college at Oxford, straight into London, and picks you up and brings you back. It's a wonderful opportunity to see beautiful London. And Westminster Abbey would certainly be a place you would want to go visit. Some of us decided to go see the birthplace of Winston Churchill. Can you imagine that this was his house and it belonged in his family for many, many generations? We got a chance to see some of his ancestors, and you get to go inside of the actual residence and look at some of the furniture and the beautifully decorated rooms. We also had opportunity to sit outside on beautiful afternoons, talk, chat. There was a wonderful street fair with musical production that went on, and you can see some of the beautiful, simple architecture, colorful houses in the background here. The Museum of the City of Oxford is a small gem. It tells you the history of Oxford itself, the sorts of conflicts, town and gown, that you will learn about as we're reading the history of this. Next, we went to Salisbury, and we went to Salisbury for 2 reasons. One was to see Salisbury Cathedral, which is just a magnificent edifice, one of the 12th century cathedrals where you can go in, roam through this. It is absolutely overwhelmingly beautiful. Thomas à Becket served there. You may have heard of him in your history classes. But of course, in the evening, we all got into a little bus and we went to see Stonehenge. They have a prehistoric reconstructed little village there, and then you traipse across the fields to actually walk amidst the stones. This is perhaps the most stunning experience at all. This image is at twilight. You can see the moon in the sky, and we were allowed, most unusually by the way, to walk around the stones and to experience their amazing power. More images. You just take photograph after photograph because it is so overwhelmingly beautiful. We also did another tour of a different college. I think this was Magdalen College, and we got to see their little chapel there. Can you imagine? This is the chapel for just this one college. And I got an up close here of some images in a stained glass window. Ubi, ubi, which means where? And of course the question of where are we? Why are we here? What are we seeing? Will resonate with you throughout our entire journey. Another wide-angle lens of a college quad. Here's the crest of St. Hilda's College. No, you don't actually get to see unicorns roaming around the grounds, but maybe if you pay particular attention, you'll catch one. Here is our group from 2016 with Professor Blakely standing in the back. This was where we spent our mornings, reading, talking, studying among ourselves, before we then went out in the afternoons to do separate projects and explore on our own and in small groups. I end with this kind of composite image. You see here on the left a wonderful, I'm not exactly sure what it was, but I fell in love with these little figures, and so I couldn't resist them. You see the students, you see the crest of St. Hilda's, the sense in which there is a culture, there is an engagement, an intellectual life that you'll be participating in on this journey together. But I also include a picture of an ancient graveyard, because you then get the sense of the depth of history. We are one set of footsteps among many, many other footsteps, and it is an honor to be able to participate in this experience. And so that is in fact the end of the show. Please do get in touch with myself, Dr. Wendy Turgeon, or Dr. James Blakely if you have any questions whatsoever. We really hope that you will join us for a never-to-be-forgotten adventure in Oxford.